speaker session is one that many of us have been looking forward to, dissecting the possibilities in the famed Metaverse. Yes, Zuckerberg, you've got a lot to answer for. The speaker will be telling us about how its potential can be harnessed by businesses. And we had some very controversial viewpoints on this earlier on, if you're on earlier sessions today. Please welcome up to the stage Ajay Verma, who is managing partner of 0101.today, and he'll be discussing the Metaverse, creating and exploiting opportunities in the new world.
I'm going to talk to you about the Metaverse. I would like to just introduce you about the company that we have, which is 0101. And what I want to take you through is what is our point of view. I'm not going to give you any technical mumbo-jumbo, right? I'm going to tell you what is 0101 doing in this sphere. We are working on actually three different IPs, and I'm happy to actually take you through the three different IPs that we are creating. It was actually quite interesting when we were talking about this talk within my partners. One person actually questioned me whether I should actually talk about the three IPs that we are creating. But if you look at Metaverse or you look at internet, I think the power of it is in sharing, right? The more you share, if you're closed, nothing's going to happen, right? The more you share, the more you will learn. The more others learn, more others create a better ecosystem for you to prosper, right? So that's really what I'm going to take you through. So what are we doing? Like I told you, we are working on three IPs. And what are the three IPs that we are working on? The first one is if everybody is going to have a profile pic is what we have, right, on a WhatsApp, on a Google Gmail and stuff like that. All that is going to be converted into avatar. And that's going to be a digital shadow of me on the Metaverse. If it's going to be that big, then what am I going to wear, right? I'm going to wear jewelry, I'm going to wear accessories, I'm going to wear trousers, brands, and stuff like that, right? So the first one that we are working on is actually we're working with designers across the world to get their designs on the Metaverse, right? And the way we were structured is that we will bring it up, we will do the marketing, we will do the promotion, and 30% of the total proceeds going back to them as a designer. So that's one thing that we are doing, which we think is going to be very, very big. And what we're actually talking about, doing this in India, which is almost 17–18% of world population, right? So that's really the kind of opportunity that Metaverse provides. And that's the first IP that we're actually working on. It's all about the power of Metaverse, which allows you to transport yourself from one place to the other at a snap of a finger, right? So what are we trying to create? What we are trying to do is create what is called Mela. In India and across the world, there is a very simple concept of a place where all the community actually comes together. It's a place where you get experiences, where you get learning, you can buy things, you can have entertainment. So what we are doing is we are actually creating a world which is kind of registered with an IP called Mela, where every week we're going to have one community session, which could be something like a street fashion. So what we are doing is we're getting designer, doing some ramp walk, talking about the kind of clothes that street fashion is all about, or selling some clothes. And the way we're working out selling versus the number of people on the Mela is that for every 1,000 people, a shop will automatically come into the Mela, right? So the way it works is we get a lot of people, people get people, and as soon as it reaches 1,000 mark, a shop appears on the Mela, right? The promotion works on and on. Another 1,000 people come on the Mela, another shop comes in. So, making sure that the fact that it's not going to be only commercial, it's not going to be only sales or e-commerce, it has to have the right kind of experiences. So imagine if you're a bike lover, there will be, adventure rides, there will be, new bikes being showed there, there can be, EFTs being sold there, all of those. So that's the second IP. The third IP that we are talking about is actually democratizing the entire Metaverse. Here, what are we essentially doing is if you look at bulk of the fashion industry, right? They were the last to come on the internet. right? If you look at the Gucci's of the world or H&M's of the world, the Zara's of the world, and their belief was fashion was not going to come onto the internet very, very quickly, right? Because fashion is experiential, people will buy it from the shop, but they've seen the entire transition happen. And all these brands are actually the first brands to actually come on the metaverse. Now, big brands with big budgets and the big muscle will come. What happens to the shop next door, right? How will they, one, have the technology, invest in that kind of technology, and make sure that they're available on the metaverse? We don't want the smaller guys to actually lose out. So what we're actually doing is we are creating a subscription-based model where all these smaller companies come to us, we create the entire customized shop for them, we put it up on the metaverse, they get their customers, they advertise, and all of that, and then we charge it on a subscription basis, right? So those are the three things that we are actually shortlisted and which we are working as IPs on the metaverse.